Okay. Hello, hello.
Oh,
Whoa.
We are back with another session of D&D, Runerion, Shadows of the Past, with our lovely group, the Locomotivators.
We met on a train.
They all met on a train. So last session, you galls? Oh my god. I'm still waking up from my nap, so I'm a bit brain dead. You guys were discussing certain paths to take during your time in the city, knowing that you had to remain in the city until for the next 3 days to have a meeting with one of the main poles of this society, Gregario Dawnburst. You decided to take a few jobs in the area to try to build some rep, earn some coin, and among them you chose 4 quests right off the top that interested you, and completed one of them within the same day. Apprehending the mage in charge of the series of rat heists that were going on. And rants. Apprehending him and having a moment of conflict between Seville and Lestiborns, as Seville took some aggressive measures to get the truth out of the culprit.
I would not call them aggressive.
He has to inflict wounds.
He
It's
attacked
pretty
him.
aggressive.
What do you mean? That could have one hit him.
Hey, the D&D, hey, Mr. DM, you gotta be neutral.
I am neutral. In the eyes of the law and most society, doing a spell like inflict wounds on someone is aggressive. Like, very much so.
As a member of the Bloodstones, we could have done worse. That would have been considered much more aggressive. Or aggressive. That was tame.
Well, I hope you guys share notes.
Oh, we
I
will.
could have shot him.
He could have shot him.
He could have shot him. There's a lot of ways this thing could have gone down. Thankfully, none of it ended with the culprit dying, and you got the confession of him, and he is apprehended by the guard of the city known as the Platinum Paradigm.
Yes.
And we come back to you all in that alleyway, which I believe is right here. Now, all together, and discussing... but you do need to go back to the Wayfarers Guild in order to turn in the quest. To confirm it and get your money, which you've already recorded your money and all that, so... But it's just for...
Yeah, you already gave us... We already, I think, took the money at the end of last session just so we could have it.
Yeah.
And I believe we had even at least suggested we went back and got it, so I'd imagine that's where we are.
Sure, if you want to...
He's right. We all left off as we were adding money up, and then we talked about how we all started with different amounts.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I didn't remember that, yeah.
Yes.
Excuse me. So, sorry, I'm just my nose has been clogged up today, so I'm just kind of a little nasal. So we come back to you all at the Wayfarers Guild, divvying out your reward and discussing, I guess, what's next on the docket for today in the next few days.
All right, so
I had expected
I
it to take
believe
much
that-
longer.
well, we are quite good.
Yes, we work fine.
We
And,
work with the speed of a locomotive.
Don't. Oh, Reginald. Okay. What were the other jobs we had taken? We took one
I
about...
believe we were
the
interested in
kobolds.
tracking down the kobolds first and foremost.
Yes,
I
that
forgot.
was the next one.
To rejoin as player.
Lestiborns, I believe you went and investigated the kobolds prior. What findings did you see with that?
One sec, I have to remember out of character. So it was... We just learned their,
You learned they had the machine that crashed down by the farm.
Yeah, the machine. We learned the colors, but I didn't put anything together with that. Didn't we learn a general area? Oh yeah, the farms. Yeah. I will cast exposition. He would convey that it was some local farms that were attacked. One of the machines that they had been using was there, and he'd like to see if it was the same one as they found on the train.
I'll go ahead and mark that quest for you. Because I finally got them uploaded on here.
Ooh.
Ooh, look at that.
I
Fancy.
believe we do have enough time to at least investigate the machines and look for nearby tracks and such around there.
The farm wasn't too far away. It was the one right outside of town, right, Chris? Or was it?
One of the farms was outside, but you, I guess if you were to check in with like where they were seeing, they were seeing at a farm like a bit further out. It'd probably be like, probably about like 6 hours by cart. So it'd be a bit. So it basically would take you the full day to go out there, hunt them down if they're out there, and then come back.
And it's a little in the afternoon now.
Yeah, so it'd be probably like midnight when you guys get back.
If we wish, we could find transportation to get to the farms and go from there. Inspect the machine, possibly stay the night, depending on how dangerous it is.
Not a bad idea. We can find some form of transportation, I'm sure. Surely there's somebody out here, potentially anyone who comes from the surrounding farmland who may be needing to go back from the town, and we could hitch a ride if they know exactly what we're there to accomplish.
I assume you are okay with that, Reggie.
That sounds like a good plan to me.
Looks to Seville.
I'm gonna be honest. I was distracted getting set up.
Oh no,
I
you're
just
good.
sat
Pretty
down a
much.
second ago.
We're just
Checking
getting.
to see if you're okay with the plan of going to the farm, staying the night there, or inspecting the machine and then staying the night there before checking out the kobolds.
If we can.
If we can.
We should. That sounds like a plan. We might as well hit as many birds with the same stone as we can, as it were.
Okay.
I see no reason to delay then.
Well, do it. So we're gonna go look for transportation, or we're gonna just hoof it.
Well, it's 6 hours by cart.
Weren't we
Yeah, we should
debating
look for
that?
transportation.
Yeah, okay, so we need to find transportation. Is there DM? Can we ask if we ask the Wayfarers Guild? Is there the equivalent of a lift system?
Not so
An
much
Uber.
a Lyft system or an Uber. Well, I guess would they have that? I mean, for people who are in fresh area, they would probably need some level of navigation for it.
You can also rent horses.
Well, so
or
that-
where the closest
so-
rental is.
So I would say the Wayfarers Guild does have a premium to have people escorted to quest sites in the event that they are at the various known like locations of interest. Specifically,
Okay.
this, like the farmsteads and all that. They probably have transportation out there. It comes with a fee. I'm gonna say it's probably equivalent to 1 gold for all of you together. So just 1 gold from any of you. That'll be it, and that'll be the charge to bring out there.
I will pay the fee.
Now, I will say, it takes you out there, but does not bring you back.
It would be an additional gold to come back, or no? We would just have to hoof it back.
I would say it'd be an additional gold for them to, like, because they'll have to drive out there, come back, depending on which time you want to be picked back up, and then come back out there during that time frame. So I would say it'd be 2 gold for them to escort you out there, and then drop you off, and come back at a different time to pick you up.
Oh, we could give them like
I-
a time though.
I would like to bribe / barter, and I will pay 3 gold for the dashing young man who is taking our cart or woman to stay around like a good boy or girl and wait for us to be ready to come back. Can I do that?
You cannot, because these guys are paid by union. They're not paid by you, but they're tasked.
Dirty union workers.
They have a very strict schedule. They take people out and they come back in order to get another job. They can't be paid to wait out there because they might need people to get them out there.
Well, I say worst case, we just give the time for the next day. Around midday, I feel like if we do some night hunting, we should do just fine. Perhaps we could even catch the kobolds while they're sleeping.
Very well. We would tell them to come back at midday tomorrow.
Okay.
Alrighty.
I will pay my 2 gold.
Sure thing. Mark up 2 gold. They'll be taking out their. I assume you want to be taking out there immediately.
Yeah.
Post haste.
Post haste.
Post haste.
We're each marking off 2 gold just to be clear.
No,
right?
No.
just one of you.
one
No.
token.
Oh, okay.
It's I marking off 2 gold. It's just a gold for the ride there and back. I imagine we're not carrying too many people.
Yeah, no, it's just for you
Gotcha.
guys. They have a wagon for that kind of stuff. So, they supply a wagon and a driver. He is a young dwarven lad, and he is driving the cart for you guys to take out to the farmstead. You explain the quest to him, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I've heard a lot of people talking about that once. I know where that is."
Yes.
And he will drive you out there. I don't have a map for it, so for the farmstead, I should say. I don't have a map for the farmstead. It takes you a few hours. He's actually a little bit quicker, so he gets you out there a little before nightfall. But he takes you to the one that's been talked about the most in terms of the.
Bless you.
Also, real quick, if we're jumping there, I did want to talk while on the cart.
Yeah.
Sure.
It'd probably be about like halfway into the journey. Westbournes would have been a little quiet, maybe offering like one-note answers to anything if anybody were speaking. And he would then finally look up to the group. Those you 3 who I've come to call my friends at this point. I wish to speak with you about something important.
This in
I
regards to
apologize.
the investigation.
Yes. I find myself needing in this day and age to draw lines in the sand of what we should and should not do, what makes us. And he look down his hand, holding it out a bit, the gears in the palm of it spinning a little. What makes us feel more human. Are more human. And that is one of them. I will not stoop to torture. I believe it is not just a blade against flesh, a magic to rest. It's a corruption of the soul. If we stoop to such acts, we will risk losing what separates us from the darkness that we fight. So I please ask, can we not do such again, or I may find myself stepping away?
I look to Seville.
I look at him. Very well.
Westerborns would look to Aurelia.
How would you have handled that situation then?
I would have let him go to the authorities and have them do what is right of the law to get the information out. Or, again, as you had originally suggested, there is always the zone of truth. I feel that was the nail in the case we needed.
The zone of truth can be resisted, Lesty.
Of course.
Unfortunately, in this world, what makes us human isn't just the choices we can make. It is unfortunately our ability to lie, to deceive one another, to let our true hearts be unknown. What this man did wasn't just rob these stores, you understand that. He was using these creatures, these rats, to do it. How much do you understand about sanitation?
It's not something I have thought of.
At any moment, one of those rats could have been carrying a pox. Had he been allowed to continue and not been facing very swift consequences and a very real threat, what do you think might have happened?
The rats could have gone wire.
Wild, yes, but in a city like this, an invisible enemy is often worse than what you can see.
I do understand your point, but I feel torture seldom yields the truth. Fear often twists the tongue, and pain will turn lies into desperate confessions. That man, he was dead to right. Our zone of truth, you could tell if he could have resisted. If he had, we could have thought of other ways, but he had not. And his silence, I believe, was his confession, not one made out of desperation yet from torture. Worse still, I feel it spreads suffering like a plague, as you had said, but torture itself. It stains our honor and shatters the trust of those who we feel look to us for justice. We shouldn't find strength in cruelty, but in our courage, our wits, and our principles.
Leslie, you are far more human than you realize.
You'd hear the gears in
What
his
a-
cheeks turn for smiling.
One of the greatest truths about humanity in my long years. To live, to know, is to suffer.
Lesterbon, I will concede that I will agree to not delivering any torture so long as it is a means to the ends of which you seek. However, I do reserve, should it be any manners of which abide or aid in my particular causes, be it for my family, that I conduct so in the way that my family would. But I will honor your request to not do so should it be in a case where we are all working together to benefit each other. Hence, a job you have taken on that you will benefit from in monetary ways or otherwise, or something involving the particular investigation that you are working on. I will conduct myself as you wish in those instances, but I cannot promise the same if my family is involved.
Westerborns would lower his head a bit, but give it a little nod. All right, I understand.
And I promise you that it's not simply out of malice, but I do have something of a manner and way in which we are taught within the Bloodstone family to keep. I'm not saying that torture necessarily is by design a virtue of ours, but I also wouldn't say we were ever taught against it when coming against enemies and foes. But as I said, for your particular purposes, I will abstain and try to find at least more delicate ways to handle such interrogations, and or speak with you before we approach, of course in this instance, human foes.
He'd pause for a moment before giving a seldom nod. I appreciate that at least. And I am sorry that your upbringing was so violent and cruel to make you wish, or not wish, sorry, that was a slip of the tongue, to make you feel that is the only way to go about doing so.
She kind of sits there for a minute. We are just trained to see people and anyone against the family as potential enemies, and we deal with such in a way that I'm sure you would not appreciate. Unfortunately, young as I am, I was trained to deal with such situations, be it monster or man, using our particular blessing and talents. That tends to be in a more combative form.
Then, will you allow me a request as, hopefully, I do not know if you see it the same way, but as a friend, will you at least be willing to... I'm trying to picture the words out of character real quick, sorry.
Yeah. I like this talk.
Would you at least open your mind to the possibility of doing it differently? If it is not as effective as you have been taught, you may go back, and I will keep my word, as I will be silent for such. Or I will keep my word and remain silent.
I walk up and put a hand on Aurelia's shoulder and say to Lesty,
I straight up flinch and like there's a quick like when because I wasn't
You don't-
expecting anybody to.
wounds.
it's very light.
Inflict wounds.
Oh no! Oh, not like that. She's just more of like a not
Yeah.
expecting people to fucking touch her.
Yeah. We choose to walk Yodi's path in our own way. Some might share that suffering with others, but as long as we walk that same path, I will allow mercy to stay my hand.
Should I see an alternative is viable, then I would consider.
I will
Friends.
also agree to halt on this needless violence when there are other routes available. But Leslie, I do want to make sure you understand one fundamental thing, and that's people who cause harm fully expect harm to be returned to them.
I do understand. Where
understand.
Sorry, go ahead.
I understand that this wasn't necessarily the case. They didn't know they'd be getting tortured by the people who would capture them, but they were fully ready for the possibility of what if one of those shopkeepers had fought back and seen them. They went in there with the expectation of risk, so they knew what they were getting into to start with. But I understand your point of view and will make an effort to avoid acts like this.
I understand where you are coming from. And as Seveld had said, humanity does have its darkest sides. But if cruelty exists, it doesn't mean we should embrace it. And if anything, it's all the more reason to rise above it. To be cruel because others are cruel is to perpetuate a cycle that breeds only more suffering. Mercy and compassion may not be easy, but they are the only things that break that cycle. I appreciate your words, all three of you. And this is our first steps to our resistance, to prove that we are not bound by cruelty.
Of course.
You
And
give an
I'll-
appreciative nod.
I gave Seville this like side eye for like coming up and touching me, and I'm just kind of like, well then, brush my shoulder off.
I just cock an eyebrow.
How we do explain. I do believe I was only here for the. I only heard the bits and pieces. What is this machine exactly that we're investigating that was found at the farm?
My belief is it is what we were attacked on the train by, the thing that they rode.
Ugh.
However, I do not know. The description from the man wasn't so descriptive.
Given that it's potentially from the farm and it's been found here, do you believe that there is, given your more detective-like instincts, do you believe this is more of an instance of the farm itself is harboring kobolds, or they merely had an accident and left one here?
DM, real quick, did they say that the machine was left? Didn't he say it was left behind from the defense or whatever? Like that was the one they broke when the kobolds fled into the forest. He said there were like tracks leading to it
okay.
too.
Not
I
so
definitely
not so much
do
like
remember.
definitive broken, more like it just fucking exploded and was left behind.
Right. Also, don't worry, Aurelia wouldn't have known that. So no, I believe they are from the forest. The villagers or the farmers described that they had to fend them off. The vehicle they brought actually just apparently exploded. They are unsure why. So it is also rather dangerous.
I see. Well, we'll hopefully be able to follow and figure out something in regards to tracking them down tonight. And potentially the locals will have some idea of what they had come for.
Aurelia, do you mind if I ask you one more question unrelated to the investigation? For my own curiosity.
You may.
The Bloodstones, what is it they do?
Reggie starts laughing.
Oh, is it some kind of joke?
Oh
Are they
no, I'm
comedic?
sure. I'm sure he has a very petty and very petty and very ill-informed idea of what we do. But we have long since been an established family of nobility in Crowncroft, one that has done everything in its power to bolster the strength and prosperity of the region. We do so as a blessed people who have been granted a very sacred blood, and those of us who have inherited said sacred blood, such as myself, get trained to become hunters and protectors of the realm. Our goal is to ultimately become great warriors and fighters who are able to, as a form of protection and alliance with other kingdoms, cities, villages, what have you, with the Bloodstone name, work to protect and remove unwanted threats from the realm. I am one of such, who was gifted with the sacred blood of the third moon, and as a result, I have the powers that you have seen me exhibit, trained from the young age of 10 to be one of the best fighters that the Bloodstones can muster.
You would have seen Lesteborn's jotting down stuff about it in his notebook. Almost like each line, he'd scoot a little forward. The cart's like 2 benches, right? Like the standard cart, one bench on each side. He's at the edge of it. He looks like he's about to fall off at the single bump.
This is all relatively some degree of well-known knowledge that I can share. So that is who we are. People and family with a divine purpose.
Well, thank you and your family both for your sacrifice in
That is the
protecting us.
rich people. That is the rich people way of saying that they don't really do anything.
Oh, is this
Have I done nothing on this trip so far?
Well, your family, just in general for Crowncroft now. We have plenty of hunters just laying around that could hunt off any beast.
Well, what
Yes,
about your
sure.
family, Reggie? What do the Van Buren's do?
Just like most nobility in Crowncroft, they do nothing.
Lesteborn's is like holding up his pen as if ready to write more other than nothing, and he just waits in silence. He doesn't respond. He's waiting for Reggie no matter what.
You're seeing 2 very different opinions of how Crowncroft nobility works, and I can assure you... Well, I won't get into that, but I would beg to differ, at least for mine. I can't speak to the Van Burens.
You see, Lesty, politics in general are where people go when they have no other talents.
I
Which is why
politics.
I
no
chose to get
talent.
out of politics.
I leaned on Lesty. This is the first intelligent thing that he's ever said to you.
Oh, such is true. Oh,
Oh, such is true.
well, thank you. Thank you both. And he snap his journal shut and turn his head to the I guess watch the scenery.
Sure.
Beautiful land. And that's his last thing.
Okay.
Now we can go to the
I'm
farm.
going to the farm. I'm going to Disneyland. Yeah, you guys go to the farm. Like I said, it takes you a few hours. It's getting close to dusk. There's probably a little bit of orange light heading around. But you enter what is reported as the most commonly attacked homestead or farmstead, I should say, by the kobolds. It's probably because it's furthermost out. You see orchards. You see a very simple cabin off to the side, you see a few small hills on the back end, and then embedded in one of those hills is just the remains of like what looks like an explosion happened.
I wonder if that's where the cut is.
I would imagine so. Now then, perhaps we should find some of the local farmers while also inspecting the crash site, if you would.
Of course. I do not know how they will react to my appearance, so please, I would like to focus on the cart itself.
I shall go with you, Lusty, to look at the cart. I've had my fill of people for the moment.
Neville, would you like to come with me?
Absolutely.
So we'll go find whoever the owner of the farm is, or some locals of the region, to talk to about what happened.
Sure thing. Let's see.
You gonna flip your coin?
I'm gonna flip my coin.
The
What if it lands
classic
on the
pairings.
side? If it lands on its side, Rex is DM for the day.
Sure. All right.
I really hope one time it does.
Let's see, so we'll say that side is Seville and Aurelia, and the other side is Lesty and Reggie. Starting with Lesty and Reggie.
The boys.
To the vehicle. The boys.
So splitting off from Seville and Aurelia, you guys head kind of around the side of the orchard, heading down some like little bumps and grooves and all that. The ground seems pretty uneven around here. You come across but you make it to the hills, and like I said, there's like part of the hill's blown apart, and it looks like it remains of like a lot of wood and metal and stuff. And there seems to be like one, at least decently sized piece. If you guys would like to give me an investigation check.
Let's see. Where is investigation? 19.
All right. Reggie, this looks like a lot of wood and metal. Could have been some man-made cart. It might have been a brewery that just fucking exploded. There's no way to tell. Les runs with a 19. This looks very familiar. At least the back end of it does look very familiar to the machines that were used to hijack the train during your first meeting. You see the back end is very similar to that very large like glass piece that was on the back end that had like, it looks like it was like bubbling almost. It basically is the fuel tank of the operation. It looks like it's mostly dried out.
Could I inspect the fuel tank for any etchings, markings, or anything like that like an engineer would do in creating it? Or I guess also are any like symbols painted, anything like that?
Sure. With the 19 investigation, you don't see any markings on the outside or the inside. It looks like it's almost like a standard like tank thing, like what would normally use on any kind of like vehicles that require fuel.
All right.
But one thing that does catch your, oh no, never mind.
What? Can I roll to catch whatever that was?
No, not really.
Can I roll a
I guess
D20?
the other thing would be oh, actually, I shouldn't do this. Reggie. They had said
Yes,
that there
Lexi.
were tracks, I believe, that went off into the woods, or maybe not at this point. It's been a bit. I was hoping you could look for them, see if we could get a direction.
All right. I guess that's a good place to start.
Reggie, let me ask you real quick.
Yes.
Were you like investigating this, like the main piece wreckage with Leslie whenever he asked you to do this?
I just went around and looked at the general big chunk of machinery to try to see if it was the same thing, and then I saw Lesty looking more into it. Figured, he probably knows what he's doing.
All right. Give me a perception check then.
Uh-oh. Come on, Rex. No.
No, it's fine. If I don't notice anything, nothing happened.
You're right.
So you go off and search for the tracks nearby, which easy enough for you to spot. You're a tracker by nature, by trade. You do see a set of tracks, very similar to the kobold tracks that you've seen. Well, the kobold track, I should say, that you saw in the Ash Manor. Not like exactly the same, but it's the same Ash Manor. Very much the same, like a three-pronged, like claw foot, essentially.
All right. Is this in wooded terrain at this point?
You're getting close to where it turns into brush. So I'll consider this part of the forest.
All right. So if it's part of the forest and I find tracks, I should also know how long the tracks have been there, the exact number and sizes.
Sure thing. You see about 3 sets of tracks, but it suddenly stops after a certain point. As nearby where those tracks end, you see massive paw prints that just seem to like skid and move in, like something jumped down and landed next to them, and then just gone.
Are there any tracks for the massive paw print that lead on from there, or does it just instantly disappear?
Looks like there's some paw prints that go off, facing kind of to the north, but they eventually like fade, like they leapt up and they just never came back down.
All right, so it says I'm going to throw this out there, and I'm not going to ask for specifics on what type of monster this is, but if it is a type of beast, then I would have advantage on an int check to recall information about it and what I could learn from the size of the tracks and just the location of it.
Let me double check.
And if it's in a bottle.
But if it's not, you don't have to clarify anything about it.
Where is it?
I'm still going to roll, but...
I will say it does not resemble any kind of beast tracks you've seen.
Okay.
Mm.
In that case, I would like to use my primeval awareness.
Sure.
What is that?
It means within 6 miles, I'll know if there are any aberrations, celestials, dragons, elementals, fae, fiends, and undead. I don't know the location or number, but I would know if they are around.
It's up to 6 miles since you're technically in the forest.
Yes.
Because it kind of force out at some point in terms of, I think. Okay. Aberrations, celestial dragons.
None of that's up, but there's like 8 dragons.
You do not get any ping.
8 dragons.
He's got to measure it out.
I mean, I gotta figure out like constitutions of these things just to make sure. You would know that even though kobolds are considered to be descendants of dragons, they are not technically dragons in the sense of your hunting ability.
Yeah. This is more because I know it's not a beast to check if it's any of those.
In question. The creature does, at the very least, if it's one of those, it does not ping it. So you imagine the beast is not within 6 miles. Either that or it might be nearby, but not one of those types.
All right.
But
at this point, Lestaborns would probably approach Reggie.
Real quick, because he did mention because in the forest he can see tracks how long ago they've been made. I will say those tracks, some of them seem to be older, probably like a few days. There's a set of tracks, ones that namely go up to where the paw prints are, that are probably within the past like day.
Ooh.
Okay.
You find anything, Reggie?
Well, I've narrowed down somewhat of the search. Here are some more recent tracks, and I point to the ones within the last day or so have been moving. But as you can see here, there's these paw prints, and well, for the first time in a while, I do not know what creature these paw prints come from.
Yes, I believe all we know is it has the face of a man and wings, is what I was told at the. Where was it? The city hall was where we went.
No, not City Hall. Yeah, it would be City Hall. Yeah, it would be the City Hall.
City hall. From the city hall. So maybe it had taken off.
It might have. I believe this will be our best bet to follow. I will stay here next to the tracks if you want to go and grab the others and meet over here to coalesce the information we've received. I do not want to risk losing these tracks or maybe someone walking by and disturbing them.
All right, no
Make it a
problem.
crime scene.
And that's where they'd end the scene. Unless the Warrens wandering off to find the others later.
Speaking of, Aurelia and Seville, you split off from Reggie and Leslie in order to go over to the nearby cabin to get some information. Is there anything you want to talk about before you head up to the cabin itself, or you just want to go grab and knock?
I mean, general information that we'll at least need to figure out how long ago this happened, what they possibly came for, what they had. Do you have any potential ideas?
We should also see if they got a decently good look at them. It's entirely. I don't like the way that these kobolds have seemed more and more organized, as I've mentioned. We should very much try to see if they can identify any. God, what's the fucking word? Any livery or any identifying marks of these kobolds and compare them to what we've seen.
Yes, of course. By the way, I know we had quite the philosophical discussion in the car ride over, but I was curious, how long have you known / traveled with Mr. Lesterborns?
Not long. Only about. Oh. He kind of looks up at the sun, kind of an old man gesture, almost as if to tell the time, or at the setting sun. Probably about 3 months, give or take.
Ah, I see. So I'm assuming within the time that you have been traveling, this is really these last week or so has been the most action, the young, I don't know how to quantify him.
The mechanical lad?
Yes, the mechanical lad has seen.
Yes. It is the most that he has seen, and...
Clearly, by the sounds of it, he's not seen much in general, so... Well... Hopefully, seemingly more... realist group of wayfaring party doesn't offset his, hopes and dreams entirely.
Hopefully, with his outlook, he has a bright future.
He is certainly the better of us. And with that, I will knock on the cabin door.
Alright. Coming to greet you at the door is a...
How big is this cabin?
It's not, it's not that big. That's like... It's cozy. For a farmer's market, it's cozy.
Okay.
Coming to the door, you see a very tall, kind of what was I looking for? You probably see him. It is I forgot the name of the race that he is. What is he? He is a furbolg.
Oh, furbolg, nice.
Yeah. Very
Gregorio.
tall. And he has like a very has a overalls and a dirty shirt. Looks like he's just been out in the field. He has a small cup that he's holding. Yeah, can I help you?
Yes, fair, dear sir. My name is Aurelia Bloodstone, and I am here with my companion, Father Seville. We're here to investigate on behalf of the Wayfarers Guild the incident that happened very recently, and I turn back and look at the Doom explosion site
Oh yeah.
with the kobolds. We wanted to try to gather a bit of information from anybody who was possibly here during the attack.
Oh, well, you're looking at them. I was out picking apples from the orchard whenever they came by.
I see. Just a few questions from myself, and then I'll hand you over to my friend here. Do you have how and when did they show? First off, when did they show up? Time of day? How long ago? Is this the first instance of this happening?
Ooh, well, first time they showed up would have been about 2 weeks ago, but they've been mostly chucking spears and slinging rocks from the woods and all that. Very not aggressive, just more like a nuisance.
Would you say that they are doing so with a purpose you would be able to think of?
Well, that's the thing. Not really, but at the same time, like they never pushed beyond a certain point. They always kept their distance. They were more like testing to see what I do. Granted, though, when I grabbed my shotgun, they scattered off a little bit. But wasn't until about a week ago they came in on the machines. I ain't never seen shit like that before in my life.
I see. So, before it was just general nuisance, and then within a week after, they started showing up in very organized and mechanical fashion.
Oh yeah. They came in with 3 of those machines, but one of them, I guess my gun caught the side of it and blew up their fuel tank. Exploded right there on the side of the hill.
Yes, 2 of our own are actually investigating the site right now and looking for the machine. We actually had a run-in with a similar mechanically inclined group of kobolds not too long ago, and so we're trying to track down and see if this is all related to the same series of incidents. So, besides what seems to be your opinion of them being just being in a nuisance out of, I would imagine, pure nature, did they come attempting to steal or take anything? You obviously said that you were able to stop one of the carts, but that means 2 got away. Do you know of particular inventory that they may have left with?
Oh, I checked my farm afterward. It didn't seem like anything was gone. Maybe they took a few apples or oranges, but didn't seem like they really took anything. It seemed like they were more like just running by, running their motors, and chucking stuff. It seemed like they just gone from a regular nuisance to a damn menace.
And so they've only done this. They've done this once since, or
twice. The second time I was
twice.
ready for them though, and I got that motherfucker with a gun.
Now I do hope that this doesn't dredge up anything to fresh a wound. But did they kill or particularly gravely injure anyone in these attacks?
Oh, Miriam, about 2 farms down that way, points down the road. I think she was hit by a stray rock. Got concussed pretty bad, but doctors say she'll make a recovery. That's about the extent it's been.
I see. Finally, obviously, as you said, this seems very organized and sort of escalated. Is there any particular non-kobolds with this group? Any other various racial, diversity amongst the group, or did they bring other potentially large or threatening animals along with these organized attacks?
Well, yeah, there was the giant winged devil they brought. Didn't really see it. It's dusk whenever they came by, so kind of hard to see. But yeah, it was a big leathery wings. Not like feathered like birds. It was like leathery and like a bat almost. But when it turned to look at me though, I ran back inside and I caught a glimpse of that fucker's face, and I gotta tell you, I nearly shat myself.
I see. So only a week ago, they come across a series of machinery, start becoming more menaces to a farm. It doesn't seem they had any particular target other than to cause problems. And we have some form of flying rodent bat-like creature that's large enough to make this clearly brawny and well. Uh, yes, in good shape individual. Shit himself. Seville, you have any questions you'd like to entertain? I think I've gone over everything I had planned to ask.
Please. Out of curiosity, have you had any dealings that might have gone awry? Anything that might come to mind? Any scores to settle?
I don't know. For the most part, farms out here tend to get along. We kind of look out for one another. We're totally not within the purview of the Platinum Paradigm, which is why we had to hire wayfarers to get the jobs done.
Yes. Of the kobolds, you spoke of the description of the creature with them. Did you recognize any of their livery other than their, devices?
And can we just say that I have like a written description of the kobolds that we've dealt with up to this point,
Yeah.
and I kind of just show it to him. Like,
Does this ring any bells?
Again, it was about dusk when they came by, so it was hard to see at times. But I got close enough to see one of them. You mentioned that guy with the big armor and all that, the shield. One of them, I saw him holding one of those. The other ones were wearing basically tattered clothing, barely resemble armor. So, pretty similar garb, similar design, I would say.
Oh, well, thank you for your testimony. It appears, if they're raiding your farm, that they figured out what happens to fruit like this once you've left it out. I imagine that the drunk bastards might become more of a nuisance. If I were you, I would probably look more into security from here on.
I'll see what I can do. Do you intend on hunting the bastards down, though?
We intend to attempt to find as much as we can about them. Hopefully, we can ascertain where they're coming from, why they seem so organized, and hopefully folks like you won't have to deal with this kind of tomfoolery.
Yes, we obviously have arrived here a bit late in the day, but do wish to continue our investigation into tomorrow. Is there anywhere, and I don't mean to impose on you, but any farm or particular housing in the area of this farmland that we could potentially find some lodgings? We'd be more, of course, well equipped to pay, and you will, you or anyone else around with some space would be compensated.
Farmhouse back over there. He points. Kind of like if you had gone, like they went north to show the crash site. You went you went west to go to the house. Probably like northwest, like in the other corner, like where they go perpendicular. You see a large farmhouse, like a barn. He's like, you can stack up in the barn if you want.
Very well. And is this your barn, or is there a different owner?
Oh, no. I mean, it's a communal barn, but I'll make sure that people around here know that there are four of you?
Yes, 4. Myself, Seville here, a mustachioed man, and one who is a bit more mechanical looking in appearance.
Oh, automata or mechanica? For clarification, automata Mechanica or like free will, like Warforged?
Mechanica.
Oh, Mechanica. Oh, well, shit. I don't see many of those around here. Yeah, that's all well and good. Just don't set fire to anything. You can have some apples I've picked if you want to have a snack. Otherwise, make yourselves comfy.
We will certainly make ourselves comfortable. Thank you very much. I think I've gotten everything from here. Should we meet up with the others?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Should we meet up with the others?
Yes, it would be best to exchange information, see what they've found.
And we go marching back to the crash site.
Sure thing.
What is that?
That's Rex's error.
Oh,
I'm guessing something's going on his end.
My van was playing Christmas music.
I thought it was music, but I couldn't tell.
What's that noise?
Alright, yeah, we head back over to find Lesterborn and Reginald.
You do. As soon as they were coming to meet you halfway. Or no, no,
So
Lesterborn's be
Nick
coming
had
by.
to get
Reg will
up.
be still at
Do
the
you
crash site.
wanna?
Okay.
Nick had to get up. Do we just want to go ahead and take our break now?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we can take
maybe.
a small break at this point, yeah.
Yeah, just do it now, and that way
Do
he
it
can
in
come back.
15 minutes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Alright, I'll be right back.
Buh.
I'm gonna swap over to the break scene.
They're like one of my 3 go-to, like here in Georgia, chicken places. If like I need a good chicken sandwich, usually them. And then second is like Chick-fil-A, and then third is Bojangles.
How are they still going when Steak and Shake gets shut down?
Bro, I don't know.
Toledo Steak and Shakes candlelight vigil.
I mean, it deserved to get shut down if you saw all the shit
Oh,
that was going on in their
I
kitchen.
read
but
that
it also
report.
tasted amazing.
This is so
What
good.
was the report?
They showed
Agree,
pictures
anything
of it,
bad
and
with the
it's the-
kitchen?
Picture-
they did.
It's the nastiest looking kitchen you've
It
ever
was
seen.
horrible.
Picture
Like black
every
mold and
everything you could possibly consider a health safety violation. They had
What's
it.
going on there? But the food was so good.
Like they
The
made
best
they
steak you
made the
think I've ever
OSHA.
had.
No, they made OSHA because of that kitchen, probably.
Yeah, I could argue that.
What do you? No, they made the fucking CDC.
They made war crimes because of that.
the FDA.
Geneva Convention, more like Geneva Suggestion.
Now you're talking.
No, we're stopping that conversation. All right, are we good to go back in?
I'm good.
I'm all good.
Small.
Mhm.
Are
I
you-
said mm-hmm.
I didn't hear you go. All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So last we left off, Seville and Aurelia had gotten information from the owner of the farm that they're at near the explosion site. And we're going to meet up with Leslie and Reggie to discuss details. When they meet, Lesward's coming back up from that area.
Oh. Perfect timing, Leslie.
Oh, was your venture a success?
I would say so. We can discuss when Reginald is around, but, and I point off in the direction of the barn, apparently that will be our lodgings for the evening.
Seems rather comfy. Large building. Bigger than the rooms, at least. You get what
I certainly hope it's comfortable and sanitary. He just like trails off.
Lesborns will turn on his heel before speaking further, so they could like walk and talk. Reggie's just over this way. We found some tracks, and he wanted to make sure none got tampered with, as some are more recent than the others.
I see.
And also well, I'll talk more. I'm getting ahead of myself. He's like a little excited. And he'd lead him back to the exploded cart with Reggie waiting.
Reginald,
Yes, Miss Bloodstone?
how goes things over here?
Well,
Apparently
things
there's
are
some
going.
tracks to investigate.
Yes, if you want to come up here and take a look as well, so I can point out what I'm seeing. See, this
I will.
trail of tracks here are recent, within the last day or so, and they lead up to this point where we have the big paws from a creature that I have not been able to identify, and they lead on. I believe it is in our interest to at least do some scouting tonight and see if we can find a basic location of where they have moved to, whether or not we intend to fight tonight.
I see. I would like to make my own nature check, if I may, using Hunter's Bane, in which I can recall information about, or well, I don't know if this would. I guess it's to see if this matches up, if this is anything related to Fae, fiends, or undead.
Sure, go ahead. Let's see here.
Cool.
Well, let's see.
I get advantage
No,
on that.
hold on. I'm saying, let me check it. See, advantage on wisdom score. I'll say for this, you do not have advantage.
Okay. Normal roll. See if I recognize this shit. 13.
13. Right. With the 13, this doesn't match anything you've seen. A lot of you been trained to fight have been, like your skill suggests, phase, fiends, and undead. You're more about very unnatural, goes against the grain of nature kind of stuff.
I'm a Ghostbuster.
You're a
Right.
Ghostbuster, yeah.
Do I at least notice how the tracks kind of show up and then seemingly like disappear?
Yeah.
Well, I will say, Mr. Reginald, that this will be of some interest to you. The farmer who we were able to speak with was directly involved in helping ward off the recent attack by the kobolds, and he said that along with them, and I'm going to take a guess that this was a bit of a landing and takeoff situation, there was some large, leathery winged bat-like creature that was with them that was enough to make a full-grown furbolg man shit his pants.
Literally or figuratively?
I mean, he spoke rather literally. So,
Did they happen to see what direction it flew off in, or landed in?
I
Landed from, I should say.
immediately turn back and look at Seville like the caveman SpongeBob, like, we didn't ask that.
One for one caveman
I am not-
SpongeBob.
No, given his testimony, it sounded as though he didn't stick around long enough to find that part out.
True. He did mention that once the monster showed up, he quickly took shelter inside.
Did it
Yes.
land more centralized than the farms?
No, but he did point out that there was one farmer here who did take more of a critical wound, and the action spilled out further in that direction. I point to where what was it,
Miriam.
Miriam?
Two farms down.
Miriam, about 2 farms down. This was more than centralized here. They certainly kept their attack very broad. And to say that too, he said that they only got a hand on these, and I'll kind of point to the cart, within only the last week. Before that, they were just on the outskirts of the farmland and occasionally doing nothing more than chucking spears and throwing rocks to be a nuisance.
Miss Bloodstone, I believe we are giving them too little credit. See, to me, that seems like they are testing the limits and the response time of the people here, seeing what they can get away with and what they can't. By gauging the capabilities of the area they're planning to attack and ransack, they're getting that valuable information of what forces they need to bring or what tactics they need to employ.
This seems like quite the aggressive show of force then. Just like motion around for what seems to be no more than a few farmers with a gun or two. But I'm not saying that it wasn't necessarily, how should I say, just being a nuisance to be a nuisance, but I am curious as to how long they have had this more coordinated effort, because he also had noted that these coordinated attacks, these more coordinated attacks came directly along with the machinery.
DM,
Oh, I was about to.
can I do I know if like kobolds typically think through things as much as this, or are they more
That's what I was
primitive
gonna
in
ask,
terms of
too.
their thought process?
You guys roll me.
We'll see if it's standard behavior.
I guess it'd be a nature check. Yeah, both roll me a nature check. You guys don't think about the same thing.
Oh.
Well,
Kobolds are red.
Yeah.
Sometimes green.
Sometimes green.
Let's see. Lustborns, no clue.
Their name
Reggie,
starts with a K.
I thought it was a C.
Reggie, I would say you would know that kobolds, because you probably you've seen kobolds before. They should run in packs, not so much like an organized fashion, more like a pack mentality. Or really, of the 14, I would say, while they do like I said to Reggie, they operate in packs. Sometimes they can be organized if they're under a greater will, like I say, a leader of some kind.
This lines up the same sort of way that we saw there was a clear leader on the train. I did ask the man if he saw anything of a greater force that seemed to be leading them, but other than the great monstrous bat, he couldn't point out into anything specific.
I guess our best bet is to find this monstrous bat then.
I may have an idea. Now, did the monstrous bat land during the engagement with the defecation?
I'm not entirely sure. He simply saw it flying over. He did say it looked at him, right? At some point.
He did say it looked at him at some point. He shot himself.
Yeah, he merely said that he locked eyes with the beast, shot himself, and then ran inside.
We may need to gain more information then. Bear with me for one moment here, and I'm gonna open up my notebook and draw a path with the angle that the footprints are moving, where they seems to have been taken off or flew up into the air, and get that angle down.
Oh, towards north, yeah.
Sure.
I'm trying to get as close to the precise angle as I can with it.
Sure.
Now, if we manage to find out if it had landed or not, and we can track those angles down, we can look at the tracks of the landing, see which angle it arrived from, and then we should be able to run a line over a map to see an approximate location of where the takeoff or campsite might have been.
How tall is the tree line and area that's around this field? I'm assuming pretty far out, but
for what you can see, it's pretty deep, but the height is not that big. Probably
I see.
10, 12 feet tall trees. It's not.
Okay, nothing crazy.
It's not massive forest. It's not a thick forest.
Okay.
It's not like Knott's Mead. This is very much more sparse because it's general vicinity.
It's
to
a
the
more
deserts.
orderly orchard.
Yeah. Okay.
Orchard.
Well then, if it's something you want to press the man about, we can.
Yes. What was the location of the? Do you know the way? I should say to the farmer who had a more intimate experience with them.
I point down 2 farms down to the house that we had been pointed to.
I suggest we go over there and talk to the man if he's still awake. It's best to get as much work done tonight. It's going to be an early morning tomorrow if we're planning on trying to find any more information out.
I agree. I think this is the best course of action, as long as you two think so too.
Yes, of course. We will go speak to the woman. I guess we head down to Miriam's house.
Sure thing.
Do we see any cute animals along the way?
Make a perception check.
He catches a jerboa.
This is where you're
Oh
this is
my
where you're
god,
rolling
can you imagine?
See a lot of ugly animals.
22.
20.
Now make a con save for cuteness aggression.
Alright.
Ooh, that's bad. Lustborns gets easily distracted by a nearby.
My con save is +5 actually.
So, 9.
Sorry, go
You
ahead.
still fail. Lustborns, you see as you kind of keep your eye out, see if maybe there's something out there. You see run across one of the farmsteads that you're passing by a small tabby cat. And you would know, probably from your own separate research, people usually keep cats on farms to take care of rodents and any kind of invasive little rodents and vermin. But you see a orange kind of tabby cat, just kind of prowling around. It's just watching you very intently.
Lustborns would look to the cat and he'd smile a bit, and then he looked to the group real fast. Oh, I forgot to say, do any of you have the ability to speak with animals? We could get a third opinion from some who are actually out there.
Nope.
No, it's not something that I was practiced in.
You, Seville?
Out of character, I need a second to double check.
Yeah, no problem. It's just looking for the spell. Yeah, speak with animals or whatever. I
more
just
in
immediately looked to see if I had it.
I'm more in the business of tracking down animals the old-fashioned way.
You
It's going
told
to say,
me
I
you tried
think it-
speaking with that one creature the other night.
I was going to say, in Reginald's line of work, I think I dare not wish to speak to them. I feel eventually
I imagine
Yeah.
they'd have quite the choice words for me.
I'd either be incredibly upset at what their family's opinion of was for me, or I'd be incredibly depressed.
or you could bargain for safety. I will save this Squirtle if you rat out the dragon down the road.
He's got a point.
That is a fair play.
I do not have anything like that.
No problem. No problem. It was a wild shot anyways.
I just took Magic Initiate Druid at level 4, so I really had to double check.
Oh yeah.
We keep marching.
Yeah,
We get to Miriam's farm.
it's about like 10-15 minute walk. Pretty far away, but not terribly far. Yeah, you make it onto the premises. It seems like she's growing some manner of
She's out.
vegetables.
She's not out.
She's not out. You see
She's
her
just growing
farm.
veggies.
But yeah, you see it's very similar to the other person. Their cabin is very small, very cozy. You do see now that's becoming nighttime. You do see a small candlelight in one of the windows.
I will, excuse me, gentlemen. I will break from the back and knock on the door.
I will hide my face.
Coming to the door, you see.
Did we get the other farmer's name?
No.
Oh, fuck.
Um,
Shit.
That's okay.
You see coming to the door. You see a older tiefling woman, short in stature, kind of graying hair. She comes to the door like, "Oh, can I help you?"
Good evening, Miriam, I believe.
Yes.
We are with the Wayfarers Guild. We actually just spoke to your affable man who lives just the road, and I dare say I have realized that we never asked his name. But he did give us yours. We're here to investigate and hopefully put an end to the kobold attacks on the farms, and we actually have quite the expert hunter here who wanted to ask you a couple of questions regarding the incident, if you don't mind. I know it's very late.
Oh, no problem at all. What sort of questions did you have about it?
Van Buren, and I kind of do like a bit of like a shuffle to the side and then like motion my arms like, and here he is.
Hello, madam. As the expert hunter, and I look at Aurelia, that was referred to, I just wanted to know more about the nature and direction of the arrival of the winged beast.
Oh,
Now, did you happen to see if the beast landed anywhere nearby, or was it just flying up in the air surveilling?
oh, I was in my bed resting after one of the attacks nearly got me. Well, I do remember hearing a loud whoosh, flapping and everything one of the nights. I pulled myself over to see what was going on outside, and I did see a large beast land. And she points like back out the way you came, somewhere out there. I saw him land. It was actually the other night.
So this would have been around maybe 1 to 3 days in the past, correct?
About two days ago.
All right. You said it landed over in that direction. Did it drop anything off, or did it just seem to be landing there and staying put?
It seemed to just drop down, land like a loud thud. It was just staying there. I couldn't see. It was past my orchard, so I couldn't see him. But he was there for a few minutes, and then he just leapt off into the air and flew off. About that direction. She kind of points like about east-ish.
You've been a great help, madam.
Oh, sorry about that.
That's quite the nasty cough you have there, madam.
Oh yes, I've been sick the past few days.
Well, you take care of yourself. We'd hate to trouble you any longer than we have already.
Oh,
I understand it is getting quite late.
Oh, very much so. I'm just about to sit down for some nice soup, and then I'm heading to bed.
Enjoy your soup. We will actually
Oh.
be camping out in the barn over yonder. So if anything comes up or you hear or need assistance, do feel free to get one of us.
Oh, absolutely. You you all stay safe out there.
We will. Thank you very much. And then I guess we leave her, and I'm going to turn to Reggie. So is this the part where you do the bit of the tracking?
Well, it said it headed east, but the tracks I found weren't. They were heading north, correct, DM?
Yes.
So it headed off east, but the tracks I found saw a takeoff point over towards the north. If we go back up and we can potentially see where the creature landed, we might be able to gauge the direction of landing just based on the orientation of the tracks. I believe with those 3 pieces and enough elbow grease from some bright minds, and I look around at all of us, we should
I'll
be
look
able to figure
around.
out an approximate location.
I pat Lestaport on the back. Do give yourself more credit, young man.
I apologize. I thought he was looking for someone.
No, he's talking
I was
about
Lesty, but I
us.
was looking for you.
Very well. I will, I guess, then, unless there's an immediate need, I will go scout out the barn and check for our conditions of lodging and await you there. And perhaps I'll pick some apples. The nice Furbolg farmer did say we could have a few, and we may be at least need of some sort of a meal tonight.
If you find yourself able to, do I have a map on me? I don't think I have a map in my inventory.
You have a map of the continent.
You have a map of.
Yeah,
we
yeah,
have a
localized.
I think
continent.
Aurelia
Yeah.
has that actually as well.
Yes, I have the map of the continent, but not anything localized.
If you have the time, if you could see if there's a map nearby in the farm next to where we are staying, just so we can have a more narrowed down area to search and do our calculations.
Take a look for something. I guess what I'll do then, DM, is I will just walk off and maybe see if maybe there's a basket or something that's been left out. If not, I'll just, use my own bag. I'll pick a set of apples for the group, maybe like, I don't know, like 12. And then
Yeah, sure. There's like
head
there's like a small bushel nearby.
Sure. I'll grab about like 12 apples, add them to my inventory, and head off to the barn. And I'll see if there's maybe any. Once I'm in there and I get a lay of the place, I'll see if maybe there's a map or any sort of like layout that like they would use or keep of the farmland.
Sure. Getting into the barn, easy enough. The barn door's open. It smells like nature. Smells like hay. Maybe the faint smell of animal poop from where animals are stationed in here. Very earthy.
Oh god, there's animals in here, damn it.
There's no
She's
animals in here, but there was a smell of like animals were stationed here at a time. But it's been cleared out. There's still like that faint scent though of like lived-in animals. The barn is about two stations. It's 2 stories, I should say. There's the bottom floor area, which has like a few stalls where the animals would be stored. A few stacks of hay bales, and then there's ladder climbs to the second floor, which is more like a loft area. You can see there's tools up there. There's still like tools hanging from there and all that.
Mm-hmm. Very well. Do I happen to, and if I need to investigate to see if there's a map of some kind here?
No investigation needed. There is no map.
No map. Then I will. How much time has passed? What are we looking at now?
You guys got here about it's close to night, so it'd probably be like you're probably right in the middle, like probably 8 o'clock, something like that. Probably 7:30, 8 o'clock ish. We'll say.
Right. I guess I will go bug the Furbolg man one more time and see if he has a map, but I'm not going further. I rush off to him and knock on the door one more time.
Sure. There's a knock, and there's a few minutes, but eventually you see the same Furball man answer. He looks like he was probably getting ready for bed, and he looks. He's like, "Yeah, can I help you again?"
I do apologize terribly, sir. Do you happen, or is there a map of the farmland?
No.
I didn't think so. Thank you very much. And I will leave.
Stay safe out there. And he closes the door.
I will head off to the barn where I told them I would be.
Alright, what are the rest of you doing?
We're looking. Oh, I'm looking for the other set of tracks where the good whooshing sound and the creatures seem to have landed.
Yeah,
I'm going where Reggie needs me.
sure. Reggie, it's easy enough to find where that thing landed because near where it landed, you see the unmistakable scent and sight of a partially decayed animal. Looks like most of it's been picked clean, but there's still some bits that have been rotting.
Oh, yeah, while he's tracking, I'm gonna cast that.
On Reggie?
Yep.
Okay.
All right. First thing I want to do is go over to the tracks and just see what I can glean from them. I'm fishing mainly for like looking at the angle of the tracks they came in and like the pressure or deepness of the tracks to see how much force was applied on the landing.
Sure.
Well,
Give me a survival check.
Can I add guidance in this? No, I'll just
Yeah.
roll with D4 separately.
Whew. Alright.
It's a 23.
23? Okay. With a 23, this is what you're able to glean. This is very similar to the tracks that you saw at the other spot. So you can tell that it's the same creature. The one thing you do realize that the tracks that were leading off to it taking off looked like they were deeper, like it had weight. So you're able to kind of discern that when the beast landed here and when it landed initially over there, it was by itself. But when it took off that last time, it had people on it, had things on it, we'll say. But yeah, you do see the tracks, and they look like they dug down, like it literally pounced down on top of this creature, and bit it like in half essentially, and is basically fed on it for a bit for running off towards the east, and very similar taking off.
And what was the general angle of the landing here?
Uh,
Like, does it look like it was landed in a straight line, or like do the tracks curve slightly where it looks like it might have been turning into the landing?
no, it looked like it was straight on top, which means it would have been coming from the east as well. So it landed from the east and then took off towards the east.
All right. Gentlemen, I believe we have all the information we need to make a preliminary guess about the location. If we want to go back to the barn, do some basic cartography. I don't know if you have much experience with that, but I could teach you some if you would like to see it. And then we could get an estimated location of where we head off to early in the morning, which I would personally suggest we leave before the dawn.
I do not mind such, as long as we can all get to our 8 hours. Because that's what we need for a long rest.
Yeah.
Just point to me where you need me, Reggie.
Yes, let us go back, and if anyone must stay awake longer, it will be me doing the calculations.
Or it can be me, for I do not sleep.
Fair enough. Alright, then I think we'll just head back to the barn, and then once we're there, since we couldn't find a different map, I just want to take like the big continental map and basically overlay paper on it and sketch the lines of the different angles I see to see if they lead to an area roughly we can point directly at.
Sure.
I give him the map.
Before that though, Reggie, Seville, and Leslie, as you guys are making your way back to the barn, you see a small figure carrying some sort of like, probably about the size of like, I don't know, we'll say, looks like a pot of some kind, like probably a deep pot almost. And you see this figure's kind of like trying to like trudge along towards the barn.
Towards
The same barn we're going to?
Yep.
Alright. I try to be stealthy and follow it along, but I don't want to confront it.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm okay with just following.
For anyone, somebody to follow the figure and not cause it to be alarmed, roll me a stealth check.
Am I trying to be stealthy?
You tell me.
Well,
Wow. Thank the Lord.
Okay.
Finally, Seville rolled a double-digit number. Wow.
Holy shit.
My Lord, it's a new day.
Hey, I rolled double digits, shrugging off hold purse.
That's
You
true,
did.
You only get
destroyed
one.
the
You only get one though. So I'll say this is a group one. So there's 2 successes, 1 failure, but that's fine. That's enough. As you all kind of like keep it enough back, kind of keep it to the whatever amounts to like low dark light here. You just see that figure, small, probably like 3.5 feet, 4 feet tall, more or less. They're just trudging up with this canister.
Can we make out what it is?
Give me a perception check.
I will also roll a perception check.
22.
Whew.
It was almost a nat 1. It landed on 19. It was really cool.
That's really cool. 15. Both Leslie and Reggie can tell that the figure is... They don't have any weaponry on them. They seem to be wearing simple clothes. So you can see like the shirt they're wearing is kind of dirty. But it's hard to make out in this much darkness, like any just defining features. But they don't seem like they're a monster or some kind of weird creature, like humanoid. But they eventually make their way to the front of the barn, and they set the canister down, and they kind of like peer around the opening of the barn, and then move back, and just go tunk 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 on the barn door, and just run off into the orchard.
Did I hear that?
Yeah, you heard it.
I will walk up to the door, open it. How quick was I compared, I guess, to when the door was knocked?
I'll say pretty fast. You probably barely make out the short figure. Where you have low light vision, so actually you're able to see a bit more.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, and I literally I opened the door. Boys, it was unlocked, and then I noticed out of the corner of my eye the creature
darting off into the orchard. You see a small, probably like late 10s child, like 10 or 11 years old, and you can make out the small switching tail and small horns as he just runs off into the orchard and beyond. You see next to the door you open, there is a pot with a lid on it.
When you say tail, are we talking like
Tiefling or kobold?
tiefling or kobold?
Tiefling.
Okay.
Tiefling. Young. Whole kid. And I lean down and grab the pot.
It's a little heavy, but you're able to... when you pick it up, you feel it slosh around, but there's like a liquid inside.
I open the lid and see if I can figure out what it is.
Ooh. It's a nice kind of a little bit of spicy kick soup.
Is this about when we'd be walking up to?
I would say more or less. You'd be close enough.
Right.
Hello? I'm just I see them, I glance and do the hello, but I'm still staring off in the direction the boy ran.
We had saw that guy walking up earlier.
Yes.
It appears we have a secret admirer.
Possibly. Young
He's giving us pots.
Yes, young tiefling boy. And some soup. I wonder if he knew we were here, or if something has been staying in the barn that he's aware of. I will walk the pot, like, inside, like, place it on a table, and then I'll actually just kind of, like, walk back outside and idly, like, keep an eye out.
Sure.
Well, I suppose it was most likely just some local's way of giving us food for the night. Send their child out. I mean, we did tell that tiefling woman earlier that we were going to be staying up here.
True. I saw him run off. He ran where?
He ran off. Like if it was like a straight line, probably close to where Miriam is.
Can I detect magic real fast?
It's very
Sure.
possible, I guess. I wonder why he hid.
Well, children are weird.
Can I
I'm expecting
roll-
nothing, but just out of curiosity.
Let's see. Around the farm, you see nothing lighting up. Not the soup, especially not the soup. Soup's just normal soup. Very nice, spicy soup.
It's just
And aside from the magic items that are on your person, yeah, that's it. You just all you see is you still see the very slight thrum of like energy coming off of Aurelia that she's normally has. But everybody else seems normal. Magical items prevailing and all that.
That is all.
Okay.
All right,
Like-
then.
The kid didn't bring any way to eat the soup. I just kind of turn back and look at the pot. Hopefully
We can
there's
improvise.
Yes, we will improvise. So we're starting early in the morning to track down this fiend?
Yes, I recommend we head out before dawn, but in the meantime, I do need to do some work to try to get a general direction. I mean, it is evident they are coming somewhat eastward, but with the precise angles, maybe we can get a more exact location of where to go.
Very well. I am going to go and get some sleep, and I
Dinner.
yes, after I sit there and like go grab one of the apples, and then I'll look around and see if there's a way for me to take some soup with me.
I just because I double checked because I realized after I did the whole scene like, oh, I didn't really give him anything to eat that
No.
way.
I mean, I have a mess kit.
Yeah, I'll say anybody who has a mess kit, you already have stuff available to you.
That's
to-
what I was looking for.
Well, then I'm going to take some from Reggie's mess kit, get myself a bowl of soup, an apple, and I'm going to go find a space in the loft for me to sleep away from those stinky boys.
I like to imagine
I'm gonna.
you wouldn't
take,
give
like,
the map unless Reggie gave you the bowl.
Yeah, I'm just gonna take like a tin cup out of my mess kit and just scoop it in.
It's still very warm, but it doesn't burn you, so you're able to safely get a cup out.
All right. I am going to eat and go to sleep.
It is a very nice warm soup, and it has a very delicious crispy apple.
Yum, yum, yum. I'll leave some of the apples for the others.
Okay.
All right, Chris. What do I gotta roll to do this mapping stuff?
See. Well, are you?
I can describe in more specifics to you what I'm doing if it helps.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead and explain me what you're trying to do.
So basically, the angles that I've seen and recorded of where the tracks lead, I want to put out the map and overlay like a piece of paper and basically draw out the angles to see where they all intersect,
Mm-hmm.
and that would be the general direction that we go.
Sure. For this, are you proficient in cartographer's kits, cartography skills?
Ooh.
I do
You
not
might.
believe I am. Where would
What
I
skill
even
check
for
would that be?
Well, without that, it would be because I would say if he's proficient in cartography skills, then or cartography kit, he could add his proficiency modifier to this. But since it's not, I would say this would be an intelligence check because you're trying to like math out the direction.
I've got pretty good in.
Oh God,
I mean-
help us all.
It could go for survival.
Well,
That's
as far
what
as
I was
I-
thinking.
I
Is in
don't-
the survival aspect of like hunting in the woods, you need to know where you're going. So some mapping and stuff would be something for
hold on a
that.
second. In that
but
case,
it-
let me think about it for a moment, because we're trying. This is, ooh, actually, you know what? This is actually survival, because I would say this is int because it's a directed thing, but it is a beast that went on its own to hunt and went back in a certain direction. So yes, actually would be survival in this instance. I'll say survival this because you're following the tracks. You're following the instincts of a hunting creature with a predetermined spot, a lair essentially for it.
yeah.
Has a spot to return to, therefore is not a roaming creature. So yeah, I would say roll survival for me then. Not advantage, but it's
And
survival.
Okay.
And
Oh no. You sure not advantage?
I'm pretty sure not advantage.
you should. No, it's definitely been longer than a minute.
Yeah, unless you wanted to recast it since you're about to do a long rest.
It's a cantrip. I can cast it whenever the hell I want.
Yeah,
It's
anytime.
free.
That was the best part of Baldur's Gate 3.
I'll
You
say
better have guidance.
I'll allow guidance for this because it is something that you are working on intensively. So I would say I'll allow the guidance to be rolled for this. So roll d4 now.
Oh yeah, could I get a help action on that too?
No.
I am
Yeah.
like showing them how I'm doing with this.
Sevil's personal experience would be in tracking people, but in this scenario, he can offer what little he can.
Sure. All right. In that case, Reggie, you can re-roll your survival and add a d4 to it.
All right. Come on. Nope, that's worse.
What about with the D4? Could be a 9. Oh, doesn't that
fine.
make
So
the
that
8 a
goes to the
12?
It does make the 8 to 12.
Yeah.
I would say you have a rough estimate. You're not pinpointing it, but you got it like to a specific area where those lines do intersect. But your math, everything might be just a bit off. So you won't get to the exact spot, but you'll get to the general area. And it'll take a bit more time to investigate around to see if you can find it.
All right. And about how far away is that spot?
From that spot, it's probably
It's really far.
by foot. Oh, no, because I was saying I travel through the woods, but you don't have that problem because you're a ranger in the woods. So, because when you navigate through your favorite terrain, you don't cost anything for additional movement.
Yeah.
In that sense, it'd probably take you about 2 hours to get out to that spot.
And do I have a mileage estimate for that as well?
I don't have a mileage estimate for that, man.
Well, I'm just trying to think for the primeval
Just say
awareness
a
I did
chunk.
earlier.
Oh,
If it's within 6 miles.
it's
is
within
the
6
thing.
miles. You would know that
Alright.
where the triangulate, that's within 6 miles. So with your previous usage of primeval awareness, you know that whatever creature it is not one of those types you saw before.
I know it seems like I'm trying to scum a lot
No.
of things here.
No, you're a hunter. This is what you do. You're trying to correlate all the information to know what you're hunting. That makes sense for you. I'm totally down for
Okay.
that.
So it should take about 2 hours tomorrow morning to reach out there, and then the time at the combat, and then around a 2-hour trek back. We will have to spread out and canvas a bit until we get around there, because this is just an estimation at best. But I will say rest up and be ready for a fight, because it is not one of the creature types that I am familiar with hunting.
Okay.
Good work, though. This gives us a very good idea. Far better
I
than
do the
before.
best I can. But I guess until then, I raise up my cup of soup. A toast to the hunt. To the hunt. And then I slam my soup back in like one drink.
I'm sorry, I do not have a soup to toast to the hunt.
That's quite all right, Lesty.
He toasts himself.
Lesworns makes the motion with his hand.
DM, how advanced is the bureaucracy of these various city states? As in, would they have a
Question.
Whoa,
dedicated?
dude, you're here on kobolds. What are we talking about? No, sorry, what?
Where the fuck did this come from?
Like, imagine
What's the
having a
bureaucracy
conversation
of every
about.
city-state in the
Let's start with whether or not this region is using a two-party system.
This
No,
country's doomed.
We're doomed.
Would they? Okay, all that is pretty much to say, would they be advanced to have actual game warden?
Ooh. I would say not this area. Due to its vicinity to very dangerous lands, it wouldn't be safe for anybody to really hunt, so they don't have like a set area to hunt in.
Okay. On that note, I will say before fucking off and going to bed,
You know, Reginald, given your family's position, did you ever consider being a game warden?
I do not know what that is.
Okay.
and then I leave and go to bed.
What the
He
fuck?
tried. He tried to reach out. I'm gonna do my the Lesterborn Sentinel mode or whatever. I'll sit outside front of the barn doors, just like sit in front of them,
All right.
so that way I have the surveillance of at least the front. Can't say anything about the back.
Sure thing. Anybody else do anything before they go to sleep?
Sleepy times. I have another cup of soup and then sleep.
Okay.
Eepy, eepy.
Big.
You have one
E's.
for me. That's why you had the second.
Big sleep.
Alright, time to roll my D100, see if I took my... No.
Die.
Die.
He could just die in his sleep any night. He's that old.
Sal, are you being serious about that, or?
I no, the fuck
Do it.
I'm not.
Do it. You gotta,
Okay, but you should
have
now.
to.
You need to roll one just to see.
Is it like you die if you roll 0 or 100?
I don't know.
He lives.
By the way, Chris Gorm.
All right.
God damn it.
I don't know what Gorm is. I
I don't
I
know either.
never saw that.
I don't know, it just sounded like a homely farmer name.
I mean, I didn't have a
Awesome.
name
His
for the
name's
guy, so
Gorm
you know
now.
what? Fair enough. He's just called Gorm.
Oh,
now.
he's Gorm.
Gorm McDonald.
All right. I love it.
All right. Everybody, go ahead and hit your long rest buttons and get back the delicious.
I'm gonna say level up.
No,
Get,
this is
get
not.
the
Get
get
back
the
your
get
health.
the
Get back your spell slots, your uses, and all
the nothing I really lost.
that. And nothing of loss
Yeah.
was gained.
I used most of my spells that day.
Yeah, you did.
I only used 2.
I really never used any sorcery
used
stuff unless
one.
it's combat, though.
Alrighty.
Let's see. Oh, I need to check. Okay. Oh, and that. Oh, I need to check your. I should have that written down somewhere, honestly, to make it easier for me. There you are. In the midst of the night, Lesterborns, you said you're sitting outside, kind of keeping watch.
Yeah, in his sentinel mode.
He's like Bastion.
You see, and like it's hard to see because it is nighttime and all that, but you're kind of like picking it up, a small amount of movement, as you see the very familiar orange tabby cat just prowling around. And there's
Does it walk up to me?
no, it's actually keeping pretty wide of you. But it's like kind of watching you, and then all of a sudden it just turns, and it just jumps and like pounces, and you hear those little squeaks of a mouse, and then just dies out.
Oh. So wait. I need to see real fast. Oh no, it's not worth it. mouse. All right. Westerborn's dies a little on the inside, but he continues his sentinel. Because I don't know if I can break the sentinel and still have it count as a long rest.
It's not a uninterrupted set, so if you needed to get up for like a few minutes to like stretch or go check something, you can. As long as you still get your 8 hours in, which I'm imagining most of you will.
I'm gonna go check out that cat. Or at least go to where I heard it pounce the mouse real quick.
Okay. Are you trying to approach it in a way that you're trying to have the cat not run off?
Just walk up to it. It's his usual walk, like he's just walking. He won't go out of his way to be slow, but he's also not looking intimidating. It's less towards.
Okay.
He's a twig.
All right, you walk up, and as it's like biting down, you do see it stop, and it's like you see like very much like its eyes have shifted over towards you. It's just watching you intently, but it's not doing anything.
Is there anything up with this cat? You know, I'm looking at it.
Make me a perception or nature check.
Oh, I wonder. 19, I think? Yeah.
You see that it's orange, it's bright orange. It's a little,
It's an orange cat, therefore stupider than normal.
Oh, Popo.
You don't see any like tag or anything on it. You don't see like a collar. You don't see there's no ownership.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that strikes you about this cat is that when it eyes you, its eyes are a luminous green. Like they give off their own little bit of light.
I used detect magic.
Sure.
He will. Let me double check, make sure. Okay, yeah. He will mumble himself and use detect magic, leaving me with one spell slot left. So I really hope nothing else happens.
Okay. This cat is magical.
What kind of magic?
Conjuration? Wait, I'm double check the school. I want to make sure I get that right. Game rules, spells. Nope. It is spell school. Yeah, conjuration would probably be the closest thing.
Alright, so it's like it was summoned.
Yeah.
I'm going to first. Where's my inventory? There it is. I'm going to take out a
Did that bitch have
thing
a
of
fucking cat?
rations. Bring me down to 8 rations if I use this. I'm going to place one on the ground,
Sure.
and I'm going to back up like 30 feet. So I'm a good bit of ways from it, but I can still see the cat. But enough that he knows that like I can't sprint at him without him realizing. So he knows it's like a safe distance kind of thing.
You see the cat turn its face towards you, and you almost see like the eyes shift from a luminous green to a deep blue.
Oh.
And then the cat just like drops the mouse and then runs back to the orchard.
Oh. Interesting. And Westerborn's will leave the rations there. And then return to the barn doors and get back into his sentinel form
Sure
mode.
thing. Let's see. Nothing else happens for the rest of the night. It is a uneventful night for y'all. Go ahead and hit your long rest if you haven't already.
I did.
Okay. We come to... Oh,
I was gonna say we get up bright and the fuck early.
sure enough.
Yeah, before the sun even goes up.
A bit before bright.
Dark and early.
Dark and early.
Dark and
It's like we're
early.
going to the airport.
Oh.
You know that feeling.
Yeah, I know that feeling. I've done that bit. I got in the car and I fell instantly the back to fuck to sleep. I'm just like I'm not being alive for this.
One of
part.
those mornings.
Yeah. Nope. Oh yeah. You all wake the next morning. It's still dark out. There's a light chill. A wind coming in from the northeast. No,
It's still dark
northeast.
out unless you're me.
I mean, it's still dark for you, but you kind of see in shades of gray and tones and all that.
True.
Good book.
It's not.
I like to imagine
It's on your king.
Reginald wakes up first and gets everything ready, gets the map ready and folded into like almost like a handheld side, so we can just go and see exactly what angle we're walking.
If I
And
may,
we'll just start one by one waking people up.
if I may, I would like to be equally up, and if he comes up, he just sees me like doing prep stretches.
I would definitely first try to wake up Seville. If he's
Gotta make sure he's
So-
still
Keep Ben
alive.
up. He's
Hey, Ben.
old.
He's old.
Oh yeah, they get up at like 2 a.m.
So
Oh, wow.
I love the idea that Reggie's like, I'm gonna be the first to get everybody up, and he gets up, and everybody else is technically already up.
Yep, fucking.
like, oh wow.
He like
List
walked
the board,
over to
list the-
Seville and he's just staring at him.
Listen board's not slept, and then he climbs up the fucking ladder to get to the loft, and he just sees me like doing like pull-ups, like I've got my legs up on like one of the beams of like the barn roof, and I'm just doing pull-ups.
Huh. Well, typically I have to wake everyone up for these hunts, but I guess let's go.
We have a job to do, and I'm not going to be late. And then I just hop down and start grabbing my weaponry.
I appreciate the mindset.
As we're walking, at the start, if it's okay to go to that, Chris, I don't want to step on toes. I wasn't sure if we're just gonna immediately get to the forest or what.
Yeah, if you guys are good to go to the forest, you guys are good to go to the forest. I'm not gonna stop you. It's your story.
As we're walking to the woods, I want to look to Aurelia. Aurelia, do you know much about familiars? I know you dabble in the arcane yourself, much like I do, but was hoping you might clue me in on something.
All right, DM, I feel like this would at least have been brought up in my training, but what do you need me to roll so I could give a decent amount of information on him?
Absolutely. This would definitely be an Arcana check.
All
It's
right.
pretty low because your family does magic and stuff. So
It is a roll with... Oh, I have advantage in what event? Recall information about... Fae, Fiends, Undead. Allows you to recall lore about spells. Okay, so it's only if it's Fae, Fiends, or Undead, so not really.
but does it say lore about spells or?
Oh, no, it says... It just explains intelligence.
Oh, okay.
I was reading further down. I realized I left the area where it talked about advantage. Alrighty. How well do I know familiars at 11?
Over a 10.
How familiar are you?
The Find Familiar spell is a very common first level spell. It is well known throughout most any domain of arcane. It is sometimes just a little companion for traveling, and sometimes it's a tool for scouting. Any basic practitioner of magic could learn this kind of spell. Out here in the farmers area, somebody using it would be a bit odd, but not unheard of.
Unless we have a particularly magically inclined, I guess, standard fare farmer around here, I'd be a bit surprised to see one around. Why?
I take it the man who soiled himself wasn't much of a mage either in appearance then. Last
No.
night, when I was in my surveillance state, I saw that cat again. And my curiosity getting the better of me, I went to go look at it as it was slaying a mouse. But it had a aura to it, one that which, when I detected what kind of magic it was that of conjuration. So I assume either one of the farmers has this cat about for helping with prey, or we may be watched. So please, all four of you, keep an eye out for a orange tabby cat.
Well, we certainly did run into quite... We did run into quite the potentially wizard amongst the kobolds on the train, if you all do remember. We will obviously omit what he was capable of doing, but it wouldn't surprise me if there is more magically inclined kobolds who are using a something as inconspicuous as a cat to potentially spy upon the farmland.
that is the case, they may also know that there are hunters searching, if they do not already.
Especially if we are correct and they are potentially linked with the ones who attacked the train, assuming they somehow learned who it was that were part of their demise.
Well, if they know we're coming, then we'll have to be a bit more wary. They might be setting up an ambush, but still, the best course of action is to proceed.
Yes, I agree.
I mean, the best way to dissolve an ambush is to walk right into it.
Also, the most dangerous way to resolve an ambush.
Oh, why must it always be wizards lately?
We head off in the direction Reggie is going. I will let him lead, unless he wants me to with my night vision, until it gets to morning.
Well, we do have some time before we need to worry about our appearance. I say we can have torches lit for vision during the meantime, and then when we get closer and the daylight starts coming up, we can extinguish and be perfectly fine.
Very
I
well.
will light a torch. Let me use one of mine real quick.
Alright.
There we go.
Yeah, I just want to start walking off in the direction that I had mapped out, and then when we get about an hour or so out, that's when I would want to extinguish the torches and go without the light sources.
Absolutely. Easy enough to do. Let's see, I can't get lost. If you're in a leftover terrain, you know where you're going. Yeah, you have no problem navigating through this space. You go an hour in, dump the torch, not dump the torch, but you extinguish the torches, continue the rest of the way by standard sight. It's starting to, day is starting to break a little bit at this point. So it's you're starting to get like peaks of sunlight. It's very faint, but it helps you navigate. As you crest a hillside area of trees, you see down to a small little valley, dip down, and you get to a point where it's now starting to shift from forest to kind of like wild plains into desert. It's like this weird mixed area. You're starting to get close to the very sandy area of the probably the line between being in Tyr's Trove area and being in the Fixian Wastes.
Okay.
This is kind of savannah-y then.
Savannah,
when we
yeah.
get to that area, I want to do a look around and see if I can spot any tracks or signs of any recent travel, like overturned things or anything like that.
Sure. Roll me a perception check.
So this is no longer in wooded. I don't get the advantage, but it's still a 19.
Still 19. It's still more than enough. You do not see any tracks. You don't see any spoils or anything. But as you are, you're intent, you're locked in, you're keeping your eyes, your ears over everything. And from off to the side, you hear the light
Here.
flapping. And you immediately realize that something is coming from like behind and to the right of y'all.
I immediately get down and try to hide myself the best I can.
Don't even warn us. We just see you get down and we don't know what's going on.
I will mimic him.
I obviously gonna do the same, but like
I mean, I think like that should serve as enough of a warning.
Yeah.
you're a weird guy though.
That's true. Anybody who is ducking down to
You're a
hide,
weird guy.
roll me a stealth check.
Oh, I didn't think it was to hide.
I mean, you're trying to not be seen by it, so
Well, when you said a flapping, I thought like there were like 50 arrows coming at us and we were
Oh,
ducking out of
no,
the way.
All right, hang on just a second.
I need those things in here. I need to pull up.
And 14.
Okay.
And I want to play Baldur's Gate again now. Now seeing like guidance.
Me remembering that I had it.
One of the best D&D
Okay.
spells.
as Reggie and Aurelia and Seville kind of duck down, Lesbridge, you kind of like look around like, wait, what are we? And then probably Reggie grabs you, pulls you down. As a large creature with leathery wings. It moves fast over you, but you're able to see that it has like four paws, four sets, no, four paws with claws in them. As it just flies overhead, you see the faint shape of its tail, a spiky, maddening mess. As it just flies overhead, heading off, very similar to the direction that you are all heading.
I take that as a good omen that we are on the right track.
We are on the right track, but it came from behind us, which means it's possible there was a raid this morning.
We must act fast.
We must. Well, I believe the time for stealth is over, so should we start double timing towards the location?
Let's...
Yes, getting
Yes, we
there
go.
with as much haste as possible would be for the best. Hop to...
Hop to it.
Hop to it.
Speeding up your process, you're able to get out to the location. Let's see here. I'm going to. I think it's this one here. Yeah. Let's see. I'm gonna say. Ooh. Who is in the front?
I believe it was
It would have been me
Reginald.
at the front still.
It was me.
Me? Alright, and then I'll kind of put you all in a group so it makes it a little easier on you. And then
Bless you. Bless you.
thank you. Keeping close to the tree line as best you can, trying to make double time, but still. Actually, no. You guys say you're not keeping to stealth.
Full on sprinting.
Yep.
All right. Let's see.
But not to exhaustion.
No, not to exhaustion. So I'm gonna put you.
And taking the dash action every turn. I'm just
Uh,
trying to get there before we lose sight of where because we still know roughly where it headed, and I imagine we could probably still see it in the skyline. And just follow it as far as we can.
Yeah, absolutely. It stays pretty high up and eventually kind of starts dipping down, like it's trying to look into land. And you eventually find its resting location nearby a. You see also a small bit of diminishing smoke from overhead, like a recently put out campfire. As you all break through a clearing.
Oh,
Whoa,
he has
look at that
map.
thing. It's disgusting.
As you're all kind of stuck together, you're running up again, not stealthing.
No stealth at all.
Not
Alright.
stealthy
Nope.
at this point.
I imagine if I may, just prep. I imagine if we're running forward and I'm seeing the camp, I'm literally taking my blade out, slitting my wrist, and activating my blood.
Oh my
Right?
god.
All right, go ahead. Take
That's what I
advantage.
always do.
Why not slit the palm of your hand?
Yeah,
No,
and
dude,
Your
it's
wrist?
it's
maybe
always
that
the
I would have loaded my my musket as well.
which would be more dramatic. She puts it in her hand and cuts, or she does.
And
like
the palm is symbolic as well, but the wrist is funny.
All right, fine.
On
We'll
your
do
wrist.
the palm. I
This
pulled the
is just
sword
like
out.
that Tumblr post on Supernatural.
Oh,
I literally won't even, if we're not stealthing and we know we're going into a fight, I literally just take the glove off, toss it into the general direction we're going, and then do the slit of the hand and then I will take my D4.
Sure thing.
Where is my thingy? Mm-mm-mm.
Blood right.
One D4 of damage for the blood right, so that I can have an icy sword and do stuff. I only take one.
Ooh, nice.
One.
Wine.
One.
Yeah. When we see the camp, I'm just gonna say to the group, just so we're all on the same page, leave one kobold.
Yes, we leave one.
Okay.
For Leslie to interrogate.
All right. Let's see here. So, as you come out of the woods, declaring your intentions, loading a gun, slicing your hand to get ice powers, getting ready to just throw down, you see far off against this rock, you see a kobold. Looks like he's like scouting over this direction. As he hears your approach, he turns back and snarls as he yells something at this massive creature on top of the boulder, and basically like yells it and it points to you all. You hear a movement off to the side near where a campfire is going down. And I will go ahead and turn off this very comforting music in order to turn on a bit of combat.
Whoa.
There was music.
There was music.
Yeah,
There
there's been
was.
music this whole time.
Very, very quiet.
Very
I
quiet.
fucking hate Roll20 because
Oh.
I didn't hear shit until just now.
Oh,
That's
that
funny.
happens at times. Yeah, I'll always have, just so you know, I'll always try to have music playing for immersion.
Yeah.
Okay. Next time I'll just refresh if I don't hear anything.
Yeah. All right. So that's one thing. I need to click this thing. If I can have everybody click their token and hit the initiative button.
Big token. Big initiative. 15.
4.
Okay,
Also,
Five.
this combat, Lustaborn's is glowing a brassy color.
Oh,
Brassy.
yeah.
he's
That is
like-
my manifestations combat.
I'm a
Bless you.
sneezing bitch right now.
Nice.
Let's see how much we can
Okay.
get done here.
Let's see here. So that is that's not. Let's see.
Do you want me to roll again, or do you want to add it manually? Because I didn't.
That's fine. I can add it manually.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
I wasn't completely clicked on them.
Okay, let's see here. I'm gonna do this. You can one way here, like, gotta do like this.
Can you guys see the health bar I put above my token?
Yeah,
No.
No.
Alright.
I see it.
Okay.
Well, yeah, it's because we don't have control over Rex's token.
Yeah. That's fine. I just wanted it there so I could visually see myself better.
See yourself. Do you not have your name under your token?
No, see my health better
Oh, gotcha.
for informed decision making.
Oh, these things rolled like dog shit.
That's
Good.
okay, so did I.
See, and then I gotta add
This doesn't
several. Oh, I gotta do it like. Can I do it like this? No, that doesn't make sense. How come I can't? There we go. Add turn. That was weird. Alright. Descending. Alright, so first up we have Aurelia.
Hello. Let's see here. So I see some crazy lion flying beast thing. I see 2 kobolds. What's this fucker?
You see, 2 kobolds, and then you see one on the far end that looks very similar to the large shield kobold that you guys fought on the train.
Ah, the one we fucked up.
What's going on?
Right. Let's see here. I am going to...
Attack the lion.
Yeah, we'll attack the lion. That sounds fun. We're going to go 5, 10, 15, 20. I just shout for you all to cover me.
Alright.
25. And I'll stand about here-ish, and I'm going to do ye old. Is this have distance or is this melee?
What's what you're looking at?
Ah, it's 5 feet. Okay, never mind. I took green flame blade earlier.
Yeah, that's
for
just
my-
basically a
for
melee
my-
attack. Yeah.
Yep, I get to add more shit on top of my other shit.
Blade.
That's a lot of shit.
I'm going to use the good old Eldritch Blast.
Eldritch Blast.
Or actually, wait a minute. Maybe I should do. Ooh. Actually, I will instead cast Armor of Agathis,
Ooh, okay.
which uses my one pact spell. Bonk. And I will cast.
Alright.
Oh, wait. That does my damage. Anyways, if he hits me, he
takes
will
5
take
cold
5
damage.
cold damage, and I get 5 temp
Hell yeah.
HP. And does that use? That just uses my.
That's just your action.
Right. I was just making sure if this also uses my feature. No, this does not use my blood maledict. Okay, those are different. We love it. Okay, that is all I will do.
Okay. Reggie, what are you doing?
I'm going over here. I'm going to use Hunter's Mark on the thing,
On the beast?
I love the
on the
thing.
beast. So when I use Hunter's Mark, it's like right on its head. You see the Van Buren logo kind of form with its fur right on his forehead.
Actually, I'll move the one up then, since I didn't attack. I'll take my full movement.
And then I will shoot it.
Okay. Let me see here. There it is. Mark that.
That's a 25 to hit,
Oh, yeah, that hits.
and that's a 10 damage. Ignore that 8 because it hasn't been hit before, and then I roll 1d6 for Hunter's Mark. 13 damage.
That would be 16 damage, wouldn't it?
Oh wait, 16 damage. Yeah.
16. Okay. So let's see. Just write down health stuff so I don't forget. Okay, this thing has that much. Now it has 16. As you step up Aurelia to kind of engage with this thing, Armor Act is equipped. A loud happens behind you. And you see, very much not grazing, but probably tearing through the side of its cheek. You see a bullet just fly through it as it starts getting up on its hind legs, roaring. It is very unhappy what just fucking happened.
Oh yeah, I would imagine so.
Andy, is it on your turn, Reggie?
That's it.
Okay. Alright. So next is... Right. This big shield kobold over here is going to initially start to reach for his shield, but instead he's going to reach into his little pocket and pull out a small item, and he's going to hold his mouth and speak to it. And then he'll throw it up in the air, and you see a silver raven fly off into the distance.
God damn it.
Which direction?
North. Very much
And
out
north
to
is
the desert.
up on the map, just out of curiosity.
Yeah, up. Yeah, it's
Okay,
flying off
cool.
into
I
the
wanted to
desert. Then he picks up his shield and starts moving in. So that's right, I gotta do it on this end. So he has a movement of 5, 10, 15, 20. And then he uses action to dash. 5, 10, 15, 20. And that'll be his turn. Oh no, he can't do that 5, 10, 15. Because he took his action to use the item.
The spread his fingers.
Alright, so now we have this go up here. This kobold is, let's see. Five, 10, 15, 20. He's gonna stay right there. Perfect range. And he's going to pull out a little cloth with a rocket. And he's slinging it around and throw it right at you, Reggie.
All right.
Let's see here.
Throw rock.
I throw a rock.
I cast rock.
That is only an 11 to hit.
Does not hit.
Okay.
Fuck you, rock.
All right, that's its turn. And then the remaining kobold is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. It's going to attempt to throw another rock at you, Reggie, but it's going to be a disadvantage because of its distance. Oh, that's unfortunate. That is a 14 to hit.
That meets my armor class.
So you do get hit by this very wide-hitting rock.
All right.
This is not here. You only take 3 points of bludgeoning damage.
What do I have to roll to maintain concentration?
Roll a Constitution saving throw. You just need a 10 or higher.
All right.
The mark on its forehead fades.
For 3 points of damage from a rock.
It happens,
Shit.
man. The dice sometimes they just say, "Nah, fuck you." That's its turn.
The rock giveth and the rock taketh.
That's what we said about Dwayne Johnson.
Seville, it's your turn.
Alrighty. Ba, 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 ba. Alright. I will cast. Let's. This is new. This will be fun.
We like new. We like
Alright.
fun.
I'm gonna help out Aurelia and cast. No, god damn it. Infestation on the big guy.
Okay. Let's see here. I do believe you'll have to move.
Oh,
up
wait,
a bit.
yeah, 30
Yeah,
feet.
30. So, yeah.
The fact that it says 30 feet and also says that you can see is
I agree with
Annoyingly-
that, by the way. Yeah.
It's annoyingly limited. Yeah.
Because I've had to double
Yeah.
check multiple times. Because sometimes it says you can see in 60 feet.
yeah.
Alright.
Alright.
And then infestation, so it has to make a DC 13 con saving throw. Does not have any. Okay, cool. So, Steve. And that only rolls a 5, so it fails.
Alrighty.
So yeah, so it takes 4 points of poison damage.
And moves 5 feet in a random direction if it can move.
Let's see. It
Roll
moves
a
5 feet in
d4
direction,
for the
and speed-
direction.
You can move and speed is at least 5 feet, which it is. Roll d4 for the direction. Oh, don't mind if I do. That is a 4, so it heads west. So it will basically stumble down this rock a bit. Like it's trying to it's just like
Does it fall off the rock?
It doesn't. He's like partially on and off the rock. It's like scaling down it like a cat would. Whereas the hind legs are still up on the rock, but its forepaws are on the ground. 4 legs.
I was trying to get it to knock itself prone.
Nah, it's annoyed, not freaking out. It's just annoyed by what's happening. Okay. Anything else on your turn, Seville?
Let me just double check. One action. Everything is a fucking full action. Yeah, that's my turn.
Okay. It's now the beast's turn.
Actually, whoa, sorry.
Go ahead.
I cast this on myself.
Okay.
Alright, there we go.
Okay. So now come to the creature's turn. It's flea-bitten and it's annoyed. Question is,
Hey, big boy.
that's the question. Is it going to attack Aurelia, who's just right there, but hasn't really done anything to yet, or is it going to go after the guy who shot him with a gun, or the guy who gave him fleas? You know what? Yeah, really, you're right there.
And I'm cute.
You're very cute. He's gonna come after you.
Let's go.
He's going to. Oh, that's the wrong page. He's going to move up, and
Yep.
he is going to make 3 attacks on you.
Okay.
First attack is with its bite.
Okay.
That is only a 10 to hit.
He misses.
Second and third one will be its claws. So first
Okay.
claw is a nat 1. Jesus.
He misses.
And last claw is a 17 to hit.
He hits me. He takes 5 cold.
That's fine. Okay. Let's see, and you take. You take 7 points of slashing damage.
Gets rid of my temp health. Okay. And does Agathis?
It does disappear after that.
Okay, cool. All right. Nice.
All right. That's its turn. So now we go to Lestiborns.
Listy. Westerborns will step forward. His faint bronze glow will radiate even further as he whispers in his hand, and will cast aid on all 4 of us. Because I guess
shit.
that I can do display in BTP. It makes it so our hit points are increased by 5 for 8 hours, but you know.
Okay. Let's see here. Just nope. Let me do that. Nope. That's not what I want. I want. Okay. Let's make sure you're within distance of all that. So yeah.
Yeah, that's why I stepped forward. Yeah, I measured it out.
All right. Cool.
He whispers in a tiny white strip of cloth. Apparently.
Yeah. I mean, basically, anything that's a component you can use your arcane focus for, but yeah, if you want to use your
Yeah.
yeah, you speak into it and you cast aid. Everybody gets an additional 5 hit points. That's not temp, that is full on HP, so you can actually heal that as well.
So that is how
Nice.
much?
5.
Cool.
That's for
So
the
I
next
just
8 hours.
overheal. Let's go.
Well, as long as you're overheal,
Oh, okay.
your health max is
D&D
raised by 5 as
Beyond's
well.
not letting.
Oh.
Oh,
So yeah, raise your hit point maximum by 5, and it also heals you 5. So it basically just gives you extra 5 health.
Oh, I see.
That
That will be
is-
my turn.
Every turn? Okay.
Hmm.
Oh, what is the turn order? There it is. Alright, back
Yeah, I
at the
was
top
wondering
with
about
Aurelia.
Okay. I'm trying to do this out. I think I was at.
Are these kobolds wearing clothes?
They are. I just have the basic tokens for them. They have like leathers and stuff. Very basic stuff. Nothing like actually preventative. It's just like thrashed looking clothing.
Like pants and like probably like a shirt.
Yeah.
3, 5.
What constitutes a shirt? Yeah.
And then I'm at
Yeah.
1, 2.
I should
So
say
I was-
rags that work as a pant slash shirt.
So then, well,
Very
that's
much like
1,
Banner
2,
after he
3,
hulks.
5. Okay. I am going to. I guess just strike this bitch really quick.
Yeah, go for it.
What is my rapier?
Alright, yeah.
How about you? 18.
18 does hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Nine plus my how much cold is it? It's where is the fucking ice damage thing that tells me how much ice damage I do? I hate how unorganized features and traits is. I take the one. I guess that's the card. Okay, it's just one additional d4, so I'm just gonna roll it in here. Dude, so he takes 11.
11 points of damage. Okie doke.
And that is my action. And then what I'm actually gonna do is do a little shimmy around him. Do like a not leave his attack range, but move around to like there.
Sure thing.
And that is my turn.
Okay, Reggie, back to you.
Reloading. And I'm gonna
Reloading.
Take one step back.
Okay. Is that
He's
it?
got the
DM, I got
pole
a
and
question
cloth and
for you.
everything.
Is the mage hand able to reload a weapon because it's able to pick up stuff less than 10 pounds?
Oh, hold on a second.
Not for right now, but for future periods.
Oh, that's a good point.
Especially if you have the telekinetic feature, or whatever the feat I have.
No, because you still have to issue an action, which still takes your time.
Well, that's what I mean, like, but would I be able to use it to reload a weapon if I wanted to use the action to do that?
You want to assist him with reloading his gun?
Yeah, not right now, just for future reference.
I'll think about it.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah,
It's
that's-
the end of the session area as
Yeah.
well, so yeah, I got some questions about mage hand for the future.
All right. This guy is going to go. Oh, I need to get the arm too. So 5, 10, 15, 20, and then use an action to dash. 5, 10, 15, 20. He's not gonna be able to do anything on this turn, but he's gonna get up in Reggie's face, knowing seeing that he had the gun and he heard the shot that really hurt their creature.
Little does he know I can shoot him at point blank range now with my new feat.
So this kobold is gonna move over here, and then
It's a
he's
really
going
good
to
thing.
aim at. Ooh, actually, it's a good question. Who would he actually aim at in this instance? Would he aim at Aurelia, who's actually fending off the beast, or would he aim at Reggie? Now he. Oh no, he could just drop the sling, go to Aurelia, and attempt to strike her with the dagger that he has.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay, that is a 23 to hit.
That is
Did
a
he get
hit.
advantage?
Huh?
Did he get advantage for that?
He did.
Yep,
Can I turn that off? I can't. I have a thing that lets me. I'm just asking now
Oh.
that after you've rolled it, because I have a thing that lets me deactivate advantage or disadvantage.
I probably should set for this.
As long as it's a D20 kind of roll.
It is a d20 roll, and it would be an advantage. Wait, let me see. What is the wording of
Restore
your...
balance. When a creature you can see within 60 feet of you is about to roll D20 with advantage or disadvantage, you can use your reaction to prevent the roll from being affected by it.
Okay.
So it would just keep whatever the lower is.
Or the first one.
Yeah, first one. Sorry.
First one. Okay. I'll go ahead and tell you. No, I won't go ahead and tell you.
Well, if you want to say, I'm using it either way, if I can.
Yeah, you can absolutely use it.
Okay, yeah.
So
Yeah, it should have been he's flanking me, so he's rolling with advantage, and then
Yeah.
he could have had the opportunity to do it.
Even if it doesn't change anything now, but
Yeah.
like, I'm still using it.
okay. So let's see here. In that case,
You would hear the chime of a clock behind you. Dong.
That'll be it's an 18 to hit.
That is still a hit.
Okay,
Dang.
but good looking out.
Thanks.
That will be 3 points. Oh, yeah, 3 points of piercing damage.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. I'm back to where my normal max health is. Thank you, Lesty. I have warded off so much damage.
Support mage.
We love support mage.
This one's 5, 10, 15, 5, 10, 15, 20. Is going to, let's see, who's he gonna attack? Roll this way. Let's do this. It's gonna attack Reggie, because he's attacking.
Am I on partial cover for being behind the big shield kobold?
You are not.
It was worth a shot.
That's fair enough. Let's see. Okay, that will be a 19 to hit.
That hits.
Okay, and that'll be little guy. That'll be 5 points of bludgeoning damage.
All right.
Seville, it's your go. Oh wait, it's 8 o'clock. Ben, you say you have a hard cuff at 8, right?
Let's just finish this round.
Okay, we can
Like,
finish this round.
let's get to the
I'm fine with
to my
that.
turn. Yeah, that's fine.
All right, Seville, what are you doing?
Okay. I am going to. Let me just double check some. I hate you. Roll 20. Okay. That. All right. Where is it? 1, 2, and what's the range? Okay. I am going to cast Thorn Whip on this guy and yoink him away from Aurelia.
Okay. Let's see here. So you had to make it a. Yeah, I mean, that's what. 20. Oh, that definitely hits. 5 damage. As you like whip around him and you grab him by the neck and yank him, you feel him like pull him in the air and land on his neck and crack. And he is dead.
Oh.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah, there's little
All right.
minions.
It's that little guy.
that's what's hurt.
Yeah. Okay.
He just Sybil stormed up and cracked that guy's neck.
All right. Ooh.
Ew.
Yeah. No, I would do this.
Please don't ponder your orb every turn.
I'm not pondering orbiters. As the Manticore. Oh, sorry. As the beast.
It's the Manticore.
Yeah,
It's Manticore.
as the beast,
It's a Manticore.
eyes down really, it sees the kobold being snatched up and flipped and just killed outright, and it goes, "Rah!" and lunges at Seville. 5, 10. You do get to make attack of opportunity as he leaves your combat range.
Which I would do.
Okay,
Go fuck yourself. That's not a hit. 11.
11, unfortunately, does not hit the Manticore.
Yeah, he goes,
swing and a miss.
I'm a manticore, and I'm so angry now.
Let's see. So Seville's gonna make 3 attacks against you.
I am.
Yeah, Sevil's gonna make 3 attacks against you.
It has to beat a 16.
Well, good news. First one is just a 7, so it does not hit. Next are its first claw attack, which is a 16,
Okay.
and then the
Matches.
second
So
claw attack.
that negates, right?
No, my attack goes
Beats it,
through.
beats it.
And then last one is a 23 to hit. So 2 attacks land.
Okay.
So
Sybil, you use a melee weapon, right?
Yes.
for those 2 attacks, you take 12 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
That's its turn as it attacks you in a fit of rage. Lusty, it's your go, and that'll be the end of the session.
Real quick to, I hate to be this guy, but Shield of Faith, I believe, is concentration.
Oh, yeah, no, you're right. After the first hit, I should have rolled.
All right, so in that case, make 2 concentration. Roll concentration check for the first one. You have to get a 10 or higher.
It's just a d20, right?
D20 plus your con save. So it's basically a con saving throw.
Gotcha. So used to fucking typing this shit out.
So shield fade fades, but it wouldn't matter because the roll was like a 23. So, both
Yeah.
hits land. Your shield fade's gone.
Alrighty.
Lustiborns, it is your go.
Lestiborns is gonna lift his hand into the air, and with a quick stack of his fingers, nothing happens. But on a whim of something that will spawn right there, he will use his bonus action, hear me, to have his mage hand shove. Because I get that with telekinetic.
Ooh.
Ooh, sorry, not that one. I clicked the wrong thing.
That's fine.
There you go.
Cast a bonus microns. Feel free to cast this.
So it's 60 feet now, because I already had mage hand, so it can be placed there, and then he just has to pass a strength saving throw.
DC 13 strength saving throw. Let's see what. Okay. As the hand comes into the side, it just and then just rears up and just pounds over and pushes the telekinetic hand away.
I
Managing
can't
to save.
see it.
It can't
As a
see it,
heads up.
but it felt it push against its body.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I just wasn't sure, so it knew it wasn't like a hand was pushing it around.
I think
It was me. It was me. It was me.
It doesn't know. It just knew it got pushed by something and reared around, and there's something there.
And that is my turn.
Alright, and that is where we'll pick up next session.
Hard.
In the midst
Hell
of
yeah.
combat with a bizarre creature that you do not know the name of because I did not fuck that up.
May or
It
may
could
not
be
be an
like-
manticore.
Oh, it could like Sal said, it could be a woman core.
Woman core, yeah.
Yep.
Or
Ugly knows no gender.
That's my mage
Mage hand.
hand. Mage
Mage hand.
Arcane time.
I love how